Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. I look like I'm ready to hit the frozen tundra because I am. I'm going out. And let me tell you something. It's cold out there. This is how much I like you guys. It's currently in the 20s and not feeling good. I'm gonna tell you that right away. It's pretty cold out there, and I was gonna wait till I get a warm day to bring you guys the brand new D-Bad Krogall Scots Gaelic, the crocodile. I was gonna wait to bring this to you, but I just simply can't wait. I can't wait. It's just, I was just out taking pictures of it. I already used it a little bit, and I never do that. I never do that with a brand new knife. I like to use them out of the box, but I got so excited with this. I was just like, I have to hit something. I mean, from the beautiful G10 all the way to the green frog with the etched in D-Bad Krogall on the black goat skin leather. It's just it's so nice. You have an oversized belt loop, so you can attach this to anything, and you can see how it's all put together. This thing is phenomenal. It fits beautifully in the sheath. It's not like a flat sheath with a round handle. No, it's made to fit. So let's go over some of the specs real quick. I'm just enamored and blown away. So you already know about the sheath. Handmade. It's got a nice little tie down on there. Everything is just right with this sheath. I love the green frog. It was a necessity. Look at the size of this monster. So remember, it's hand forged, so the specifications are going to be like close. It's got oil and stuff all over it. You know, close but no cigar probably. It's 20¼ inches overall. 5160 steel, 7 millimeters thick, 2¼ inches wide. It's got an 11-inch blade with 9¼ inch micarta scales. And here's the deal with that. Mine is, you're gonna get them anywhere between 10¼ and 11¼ It's gonna frequent, but it's gonna be like right there. I mean, hand forged is hand forged. They're pounding that steel and it's growing and shrinking. So everything is going to be right there. These right here, this is not a fuller. This is it's a traditional Nepalese mark that I wanted in the blade because for the makers, you know, pay and respect. And I think because it's the crocodile and because it's got that beautiful clip point, that matches really freaking well. Now you'll notice that the blade is not flat here on the spine, not the blade. The spine is not flat. I have a nice curve inside the spine before it curves to the swedge. So it's a double swoop looking beautiful. How do you enhance a double swoop? You throw in a recurve. So the recurve pulls in toward the swoop, belly goes out away from the clip point. That right there is design specialty 101. So now, the reason this knife came about is because somebody asked me, hey man, it would be really cool to do like a fixed blade version of the Cold Steel extra large Espada. And I was like, hey, you know what? I actually already drew one and I have it in the plans. I just haven't done anything with it yet. And they said, you gotta do it. So I said, okay. So this is the Cold Steel extra large Espada. It's huge, right? I mean, it was huge until it got next to this thing. But this is a great knife, and I figured there's always a way to make great greater. First of all, you change the stock, right? I mean, you can put it like that and like that. You can see it's like more than double the thickness of the Espada. The handle, the Espada is a flat slab handle. No, not this. This is probably in both grips one of the most comfortable knives you'll ever feel. This is right here is so comfortable. This is not uncomfortable. The problem with this is it's so thin. That's the only problem. So when you have big hands, it's really thin. This thing has that big bolster with this weird angle right there, and I said, no way I want that sticking out there. So what I did is, instead of a ricasso flat, I gave it a ricasso angled, about half of the size as the bolster. Then they have their choil coming up to a point where it's a very, very short round into a secondary choil, which is completely unnecessary. It didn't need to be there, so I removed that. That gives you a 3-finger grab right here, perfectly placed. You know, like Papa John says, he hates when they tell you where to put your hands. So this one gives you more flexibility on hand size on where your fingers are going to sit, which is way better. Not only that, but when you grip in any finger position along the well here, it's going to fit your fingers exactly even, right? So when you put your hand in the well here, it's not even. This one's going down, so this one's going down, so this one's going down, and it changes the grip just a little bit. It didn't need to be there. Outside of that, you have the I'm not a big fan of the Emerson Wave thing. It works, believe me, it works, but it looks tiny next to the Krog Hall. It looks tiny. You know, they have that, and that's when I went for my swooped spine. This is a flat spine right here going into an Emerson. No, it looks way better just having a sweeping spine. So then you get into the rear, and you can see the extension this thing has. It comes way out, and then it goes way up, and it's got this hard bend right here, which honestly isn't necessary. And what's weird about it is that bend creates a closure, right? So this one doesn't have the bend. It's shorter, but it gives you more space between here and here than this one does, even though it's longer with this big thing sticking out. So you'll see exactly what I mean. It's got that hard curvature. I didn't want that. I wanted a nice smooth transition, and that little bend right there closes this amount of space, so you actually have less grip. When you're talking about swinging a big giant knife, more grip, more grip, more grip. That's the important part. So that's how the design came to life. It was, how can you take a great folding knife and turn it into a way greater fixed blade? And this thing is just a freaking monster, man. It's a monster. It's big and it's beautiful, and from a design aspect, this matching this it just goes flawlessly. It turned out, you know, exactly how I drew it, and it's beautiful. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna go out and just, I really want to just hit things. We might do a couple other things, but I mean, it's made, this is going to be good for when you have to do tighter work. And you'll see, like, Ultimate Knife Search. He likes to tuck his handle into his sleeve to brace to use tight work. And it's a really good bushcraft method. With a knife like this, he's going to love it because the handle's going to give him more brace against his forearm, and his method would work really, really well with that. And the good thing is you can choke up here, and you have a counterweight when you're doing work in this area. This counterweight, it's what it's made for. But the big boy news right here is going to be this grip where you're separating the forefinger from the middle finger, and you have that hold. That's going to be one of the best things you ever put in your hand. All right, so let's go smash some stuff. So it's cold, but it's sunny. So now that I have it in the sunshine, man, oh freaking man, is that thing something special. That is just freaking beautiful, man. It is beautiful. I wasn't going to go to the stump. I was just going to go to the other side, but I forgot we got a tire over here and not over there, and the extension cord. So now the edge should be a banging edge. It shouldn't be a paper cutting, edge, but we're going to see if what it'll cut, you know what I mean? We got 4 layers of belt right here, and well, it cut, and then it ripped there's glue all over here, that's why. But you can see it cut the beginning right here nice and smooth, and then it hit, you could see right there that shiny stuff, that's from the glue. So I didn't expect it to do that, so that's actually a win. Let's turn it around. Oh my gosh, that tip just dug straight into something steel on the end. Look at that. I don't know if you heard it. I hope the sound picked it up, but it's either something in the tire. Oh, it's ice. That's what it hit. It was ice. I'm like, that sound was not natural. But yeah, straight through the tire, into the ice. Golly, let's do some, while we're here, let's do some 4-foot drops. I have to hold it way up. Boom. This thing is just gorgeous. Boom. Couple hard downward throws. Oh, God, it's so long. It's going to be weird. Man, it's stuck into the tire. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see that, but the tip is actually dug into the tread. That's pretty good, man. It hit the wood first and slid through and still went into the tire. Oh. Man, this is definitely not a throwing knife. It's much too big for that, but you see the bite that it lands on. Now remember, the swedge is a semi-sharp swedge. It's not fully sharpened. It's just brought up. You're not gonna be able to see it, but you could feel it. So your swedge should be able to chop into stuff like that, right? So I can let go and it's gonna hold into the wood on the swedge. So the swedge, while not razor sharp, is gonna be sharp enough for back cuts, or if you're holding in a reverse fighting grip, boom, it's gonna be devastating. Just devastating. What else did we want to do? Oh, we gotta go do some banging. That's the important part. So we're gonna go over to the second wood pile and get a little batoning in, and then we need to find us something standing that we can make not stand. So this is serious. That's how cold it is here going into April. This weather sucks. All right, so we have that little guy right there. Let's find something to hammer through. Oh, it's frozen. There we go. God, everything is frozen, including D-Bat. All right. Let's see here. It's all frozen. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Oh, I gotta get a new one of those. Let's see, I got one up here. This is crazy. It should not be like this at this time of year. There's just no way. No freaking way. Everything is freaking frozen solid. Holy Moses. All right, let's see. Got termite babies burrowing in there. All right, here we go. Man, once you get through this frozen wood, it glides through. It splits really nicely. Wonder if we can come down on it here. Oh, yes, indeed. Oh, so obviously, batoning is going to work out just fine. Let's do this. This is not my bushcraft knife, but if you want to change the edge profile, you can turn it into a bushcrafter very easily. So instead of changing the edge profile, instead of changing the edge profile right now, I'm just changing the way I use the edge, and I'm able to feather quite nicely. Let's see, get some nice long curls. And sometimes, if you understand edge geometry and you know how to roll a knife, then it really doesn't matter what kind of edge you have on there, because even though this edge is not made for what I'm doing, it's doing it quite nicely. And the reason for that is just angle. That's it, just angle. So here we go. Oh, there we go. Everything so damn cold. Nice. So we'll look at this edge nice and close so you can see that going through everything frozen, we are still locked and loaded on the edge. So this is what we need to do. Screw all this. We already know it can do all this. We already know. what we want to see is we want to see this thing swing from the proper angle. And that's what we're going to do. You know, before we do that though, I have one thing that I totally forgot. Luckily I have a piece of wood right here, piece of something. I wanted to hold it up close and show you what I meant by these tight little angles. And I'm getting nice curls there, but this knife is so big I'm just knocking them off. Here we go. There we go. You can see them all right there. So doing like little carving tasks, it's going to be absolutely no problem. No problem. Holding it in that nice tight grip. You could even use a side grip if you want, but I designed it especially with this nice fat spine and this nice ricasso right here to be able to just handle anything. This doesn't go too far away from the handle to the edge, so your control is right here. It's right there. And that's pretty important. That's pretty important. But of course, this thing has two purposes: chop and defense. That's really what the knife is made for. So if you're buying it for bushcraft, that's on you. But I can tell you right away, if you bought this thing for what it's designed for, whoo, doggy. All right, so now we have a bunch of overgrowth here, and I need to get through some of it. Man, that's just nice. That's just nice. All right, create myself a nice little path here. Nope, I got a piece sticking out here. No, not anymore, I don't. I got these guys growing right here. Hopefully you guys are all in this. There's one. There's two. Whoop, I missed. There's three. Going that angle. All right, let's get through here. Let's get through here. We had them storms come through and knock down a bunch of these trees. And you see how dangly these are? Means you got to hit them pretty good to get them down. And that's happening. That is happening. All right, we want to get over here to this big one. This big fat one. That's like 4 inches. Ooh, I got thorns everywhere. Like I said, I had thorns everywhere. All right, get through all this. There's more thorns right here. Wow, that's a huge, that's all this area right here is all thorn. And that cleared me a path. All right, so here we are. I'm gonna set you guys up real quick, so hold on. All right, I think you're in a good spot. So first, I'm gonna chop some of this down because it's in my way. All right, now we have this guy. This is a nice big fat piece. Got this thing behind it. Oh, I hit into the tree. There we go. There we go. All right, so now what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go in that close grip and try to chop. Wow. Okay, so I didn't think I was going to get some good chopping with that, but apparently using the OK style grip, like when you swing a kukri, this weight carries itself and it snaps right into place. That's actually pretty good. Now I'm going to use the mid grip with my finger in between the well here. Oh my gosh, that just locked in. Wow. That locks in deep. So that right there is pretty good. Now I'm going to go beyond the grip just to the last grip. Wow. This is what this knife is made for. I find it most comfortable with the finger over the well. Wow. This thing is crazy. People have been saying for years they'd love to see a full tang Espada. Well, I'll tell you what, that Espada's going to get a little jealous. Ugh. That buries itself. I'm gonna try right-handed. Huh. I guess right-handed works. I'm about to get popped in the face by a tree. Well, the D-Bad Krogall. Everything, everything I hoped it was going to be, plus some. This thing is awesome. This thing is just awesome. Man, oh man, this thing, that's a knife. This thing is a knife, man. This thing is a freaking beast. Yeah, it was weird holding it from here, using the OK. I mean, you can see it just really buries itself in there, and you'd think that with the lack of momentum due to this, it would hinder that. But using this as a bam, you close your pinky in on the end, and it thrusts it. Just a little tiny bam. And this is the reason that's stuck in. This is nuts. Let's see here. Let's get some prying in. Dig out the center of this tree. Yeah. All good in the hood. It's got a nice thick tip, even though it's wedged. This thing's just awesome. Let's try the swedge here. Look at this. That's the swedge, guys. That's the swedge. That means reverse fighting grip, block with the spine on a reverse fighting grip, boom, back cut all day long. I mean, back cuts with that swedge, and then you can turn it around for a little crazy offense. Man, this thing is dope. All right, so the D-Bad Krogall. Get out here when it's 20 degrees, everything's frozen, and it swings like a freaking champ. This thing is huge. It's huge, and it's beautiful. I'll tell you, I put it in my head, like I put it together and I tried to fathom how it was going to be, and I didn't know it was going to be exactly like this. I had no idea. Like, you can prepare for it, but then again, you can't prepare for it. It's just so nice. And it's like, okay, I'm done, but, you know, I see things, and I'm just like, well, I'd like to hit those. I would save them for another knife review. But, look at that. Man. Oh, I got falling down. I got thorns stuck in my leg. Man, let me cut through the jungle. Wow. Well, boys and girls, what we have here is just blade seriousness. This thing is amazing. This is amazing. Holy Moses, the wind. The wind is taking you all away. So, I mean, it's literally like having a sword in your hand. And I know they call the Espada the pocket sword. Well, if that's the pocket sword, I mean, just think about what this is. Look at the way it goes around is just flawless, seamless. Golly. This thing it's like a sword. Holy Moses. It's literally like holding like a small gladius or something from this point. That's a real sword sound. This thing is awesome, man. All right, so the Kukri House. The link will be down there for the Kukri House, www.thekukrihouse.com. This thing will be on the website, on Kukri House's website. We're in March now. It'll be up there in April. Hopefully within the first week or two in April, it'll be up there. And even before it's up there, if you contacted the Kukri House and said, hey, I'd really like a D-Bad Crow Gall. You could ask them for it sharper too. Say, hey, I'd really like it sharp, depending on what your needs are. If you're more of a bushcrafter than a chopper, definitely ask for it sharper and they will provide. Gosh, this thing is so comfortable. It's so comfortable. I absolutely love it. Abso-freaking-lutely love it. This knife is top of the charts right now. Holy Moses. All right, boys and girls. That's it for this one. I am Donnie B all day. Until next knife.